Welcome back to the Cosmic Curiosity, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning into this explainer today. We've been digging deep into the latest astronomical data to bring you a guide to what is honestly shaping up to be one of the most gorgeous and fascinating months for evening stargazing this entire year. We are about to embark on a truly world-class, breathtaking journey through the cosmos this June. Let's get right into it. So, I've got to ask, are you ready for this? Because whether you're just standing in your backyard or packing up the car for a dark sky preserve, the universe is putting on an absolutely beautiful display for us this month. Seriously, grab those telescopes, dust off the binoculars, and prep your gear for a majestic tour of the night sky. And hey, if you love exploring cosmic events as much as I do, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can keep gazing at the stars together. Part 1. Early June's Planetary Dance. Okay, let's dive right into this. So, the first week of June, it slowly builds the drama, kind of like a cosmic overture. Right off the bat, on June 1st, Venus and Jupiter pop up, visible low in the west right after sunset. But stick with it, because between June 5th and the 15th, the famously elusive Mercury decides to crash the party, joining this planetary lineup. It'll be sitting much lower toward the horizon, so you'll need a clear view. Then the tension really mounts on June 8th as these planets draw incredibly close together, all leading up to a spectacular peak conjunction of Venus and Jupiter on June 9th. Now, if you track this movement day by day, you'll notice something pretty cool. As time ticks by, Jupiter is actually setting earlier and earlier each night. Meanwhile, Venus is doing the exact opposite. It's climbing higher and setting later. It's this precise opposing motion along the ecliptic that literally sets the stage for their spectacular meeting. Oh, and if you scan low near the horizon, you can try to catch a quick, fleeting glimpse of Mercury before it gets completely swallowed by the twilight glow. And man, the sheer visual contrast between these two worlds when they finally meet, it is absolutely stunning. Venus is going to look like a brilliant blazing jewel at a magnitude of -4.0. If you've got even a low-power telescope, you'll clearly see it as a 77% lit disk. Jupiter, on the flip side, glows just a bit softer at magnitude -1.9. Even though it's massively farther away, it spans 33 arcseconds wide, and get this, it'll be visibly flanked by its Galilean moons. For astrophotographers out there, this is literally a dream scenario, capturing the blazing disk of Venus right alongside the banded giant of Jupiter and its moons in a single view. And 1.5, that is the magic number for June 9th. At their closest approach, Venus and Jupiter will be separated by just over 1.5 degrees in the sky. To the naked eye, they're going to look like a stunning photogenic double star. If you're planning on shooting this, and you definitely should be, a short telephoto lens is absolutely perfect here. It'll compress the scene and really exaggerate just how insanely close these two planets appear against that fading twilight landscape. Moving on to Part 2, Peace Below, Peril Above. First, let's talk about the conditions down here on the ground. Between June 8th and the 19th, the waning moon essentially opens up this highly valuable dark sky window. And this whole thing peaks with a super new moon on June 15th, giving us hands down the absolute darkest skies of the entire month. This is your prime time, folks. If you want to photograph the dense star clouds of the Milky Way core, or maybe hunt down deep sky targets like the Lagoon Nebula, the Trifid Nebula, or the Great Globular Cluster in Hercules, this is exactly when you want those fast Newtonian telescopes and binoculars ready to roll. It's a window of ultimate celestial peace. But while we were down here prepping to admire those tranquil heavens, a sudden, incredibly high-stakes emergency was unfolding on the International Space Station. On June 5th, the harsh reality of spaceflight fiercely interrupted that calm. It's a stark reminder of the immense peril orbiting in the vacuum of space, literally right above our heads. The situation up there became incredibly tense, really fast. Decisions had to be made, as NASA spokesperson Bethany Stevens put it, out of an abundance of caution. You see, what started out as a minor, seemingly manageable air leak inside the Russian Zvezda service module, which is a crucial structure of the station, by the way, suddenly escalated. The leak went from losing about 1 pound of air a day to doubling to 2 pounds per day. Not something you want happening in a tin can in orbit. They had to initiate a strict evacuation protocol, which really highlights just how fragile life in space is. Here's how it went down. Step 1. NASA detects the worsening leak in the Zvezda module's transfer tunnel. Step 2. The 4 astronauts of the Crew 12 mission receive immediate emergency orders from Mission Control. No time to mess around. Step 3, they actually have to suit up, don their spacesuits, and retreat directly into their docked SpaceX Dragon capsule. They had to establish a safe haven just in case a full-blown evacuation was necessary. And finally, step 4, Roscosmos pauses all structural repairs to assess the critical data. Now, thankfully, the crew was eventually cleared to resume normal duties. But wow, it is a very sobering reminder of the extreme environment they are working in every single day.
All right, part 3, the Venus Vanishing Act.
Our dynamic sky isn't quite finished with us yet. On June 17th, we're being treated to a super rare daytime lunar occultation. What this means is the crescent moon is going to pass directly in front of Venus. It's a breathtaking visual. Just imagine looking up into a bright daylight sky and watching this brilliant, blazing jewel of a planet completely vanish behind the dark, invisible edge of the moon, only to just pop back out on the bright side a little later. It's almost like a cosmic magic trick. Now, depending on your time zone across the Americas, this disappearance happens at very specific times. For instance, in Baltimore, you'll see Venus vanish at 3:49 p.m. Eastern Time. Over in Austin, it'll be at 2:24 p.m. Central. And if you're in Denver, you'll want to look up around 12:55 p.m. Mountain Time. And hey, even if you're outside the path of the total occultation, keep an eye out anyway, because the moon and Venus are still going to appear unusually, incredibly close together.
Okay, I need to issue a critical warning here, and I absolutely cannot stress this enough. Because this occultation happens during daylight hours, the sun is obviously up in the sky, you must never, ever point binoculars, telescopes, or your camera lenses anywhere near the sun without proper certified solar safety equipment. I'm serious, doing so can cause immediate, severe, and permanent eye damage. We want to enjoy this rare event, but we've got to do it safely, all right?
And that brings us to part 4, solstice and strawberry moon. For the grand finale of this explainer, we transition to the end of the June sky. Right on schedule, the June solstice arrives on June 21st at exactly 4:25 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is the day with the absolute most hours of sunlight for the entire year, officially marking the beginning of astronomical summer in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, for us stargazers, yeah, it means the nights are getting shorter. But don't worry too much. The early morning hours still offer some incredibly prime, dark viewing for deep sky observation before that twilight starts creeping in. And to perfectly cap off this beautiful month, on June 29th, the awe-inspiring strawberry moon reaches its absolute peak. If you can catch it right at moonrise when it sits low on the southeastern horizon, the Earth's thick atmosphere acts like a filter. It strips away the blue light and gives the moon this incredibly intense, gorgeous orange hue. If you're a landscape astrophotographer, this is an absolute must-shoot. You know, you might be wondering where that delicious name actually comes from. Well, the name strawberry moon doesn't refer to the moon's actual color. It actually originates from ancient Native American traditions. It served as a vital natural calendar, basically signaling the prime season for harvesting wild strawberries. I always find that tracking these historical names gives us a much deeper, more grounded appreciation for how our ancestors connected the seasonal cycles of the Earth directly to the cycles of the cosmos. So, with beautiful planets aligning in the twilight, moons vanishing in broad daylight, and brave astronauts navigating the perilous void just miles above our heads, what will you discover when you look up tonight? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer through the universe, here on the Cosmic Curiosity. Keep your eyes to the skies, and I'll catch you in the next one.